Hello, hello. Okay, can you hear me? About now? Mm, uh, okay. So let's test the audio first. So let's try opening some. Can you hear this? Okay, so the sound. So my voice is too low. Okay. Let me check. Sound input. Okay, how about there? That's better, worse. Um, okay, so so my voice, is that alright? Okay, all right. So, well, we will cover in this session. Just first, let me know if you can listen to this. Can you listen to that? Okay, great. So today we'll be covering how to use FMOD and Unreal in combination for triggering sounds in a level. We will also look at how the audio system in Asylum works, just a brief look, and we will put sounds in a level using these audio assets. So the first thing we need to do is to get the level that we're going to be working with. So I have here this is an Unreal project which I already modified to speed up a few things. So I'm going to open this, and the first thing you need to know is that I'm working with two OSs here. I'm working with Windows for Unreal and with Mac for FMOD. So this is a pretty unusual combination, and it's not very optimal, but it's what I'm using right now, and it's what we'll be using today. But it doesn't really matter because you could use Unreal on Mac or FMOD in Windows. I just very much used to be. I'm used to using FMOD in Mac, so I prefer it. I'm going to double click this, and Windows is going to pop open with Unreal. So the first thing we need to cover is how to implement or how to integrate FMOD in Unreal. I mean, we first have to tell Unreal that we are going to be using FMOD as our sound engine. So in order to do this, we will need a few assets. The first is a plugin. So these are the plugins, and I'm going to show you where I got this from. I got this from the FMOD integration package in the FMOD downloads page. So I'm going to open that so you can see where I got that from. FMOD downloads. So I am not I think I'm not signed in. Yes, I'm going to log out so you can see what you need to do. You're going to see this, but you will need to get an account and sign in order to view the download. So I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to put my credentials, and you will see this. You will probably actually see something like this, but we'll be using FMOD for Unreal. So we need to clarify a few things here. FMOD, Unreal, Unity, and Wise, all of this software integrates really well when you know the versions. When you don't know the versions, you're going to have a lot of issues integrating the two softwares that you decide to use. So we're going to use Unreal Engine 4.27.2 for our Unreal version, and this combines best with FMOD, I believe 2.0.2.23, and actually there's already a 24 version which already works pretty well. It's a newer version. So we're going to be using FMOD for Unreal, and we're going to go 2.02 and Unreal 4, and we need Unreal FMOD for Unreal in Windows, not in Mac, because I'm going to be using the FMOD project in Mac, but the Unreal project in Windows. So we need this version, this one. So you will download this, and what you will get is these two folders. So now you need to add this to your Unreal Engine project. So if you already have any plugin installed on your machine or on your project, for Unreal, you will have a plugins folder here created. We don't have that in this project because this project is basically empty. So we need to create a folder. You could also integrate this in the Unreal Engine, just in the engine as a plugin of the engine. So any project you create will have the FMOD integration, but you basically would prefer to have the versatility to use FMOD or Wise or Unreal. So this is better actually. So we create a new folder which is called plugins, and then we have to put this in here. But first we need to close this. So we put this in here, and now we could actually launch this now, but we'll be creating unnecessary trouble. What we need to do first is to create the FMOD project. So I'm going to open FMOD, and you see I have a lot of versions of FMOD. So perhaps you have an older project you need to maintain, and you need an older version for some reason or some other reason. And I also have this one, which is actually the Windows version. This is this one, and I have this other version, which is the Mac version. Some interesting thing to do when you get FMOD, since I have many versions of the software, when you get the software, you will get just FMOD Studio. So I tend to modify the name of the application and put the compilation number, so I know what I'm opening, and so I don't have to reopen my project again and again. Just handy. So FMOD, I'm going to use the version for Mac, and this is the one that integrates with Unreal 4.27.2. So this is FMOD, and we're going to create a new project. Okay, we now need to save this. We could save this wherever we want, and there wouldn't be an issue. But what we want is to have control over this project. We want Unreal not to break when we move this. So the best place for this to be is inside the Unreal, the root folder for the Unreal project. So we will save this in where? Here, save as, and we will go to this folder, which is where we put the plugins before, and we will create a folder here which is called FMOD project. So save. So now we have an FMOD project that is inside the Unreal project. So let's see what we have now. We have the plugins folder, and we have the FMOD project here. So let's talk a bit about what FMOD does and what it's for. So in Unreal, we already have pretty good and pretty solid, since the incorporation of meta sounds, sound engine. And software like this, like FMOD and Wise and Elias Composer and Fabric have been around like forever, and it's like a more to the composer way, or the audio person way to handle the sound inside the game engine. So it's basically a dedicated audio engine that minimizes the need for coding. This software, this kind of software, it's actually called middleware. And it's a term that defines software based on where it works. It works between the composer or the sound designer and the game engine. So basically, this will allow us to work with sound inside the game, but treating it as a sound designer or composer, so you can basically see that this is based like a DAW, and not worry too much about coding. So in FMOD you will create events, and you will import assets and generate sound banks. So basically you take whatever comes here, process it here, and export it through here. And Unreal will get the sound banks, and you can basically assign them to actions inside Unreal and put sound to your game. So what we first need to do is to create an event, new event, and we will put to this test event. And you will see it has an unassigned tag to it. We will talk about it later. We will save this, and we will now go to Unreal, and everything will kind of blow up. You will see. So we need to open the project. I believe it's this one. So we'll open project. And now, okay, this. So it says there's an FMOD problem settings, and that the one that disappeared said that there was no master bank. We'll talk about that later. And the project file is out of date. We need to update it, of course. And the new plugins are available, and we don't care about this right now, but we do care about this. So basically, we have this problem where the FMOD directory it's not being recognized, or it's not being created, or it doesn't exist yet. So what is happening here? So FMOD will export a file with an extension that is bank, like this. So we need to tell Unreal where those banks are to be expected. I mean, where should be Unreal be looking for those banks. So it says here that the bank output directory is the FMOD folder. The problem is that if we go to the content of the Unreal project, that folder does not exist yet, so we need to create it. We basically go to the content folder, clicking on those three dots, and we will create a new folder, and we will call it FMOD. We'll do that, and then we will fix this. And we now need to go to help and validate FMOD. Okay, everything okay, okay. We now have this, and we see that this folder is empty. So we now need to populate this folder. Okay, so banks, what are banks? Banks are a collection of code and audio. So basically we need to import assets, and we're going to process those assets in real time. And when we process those assets, we basically are going to be generating code that FMOD will handle it to Unreal to tell it what to do. So those banks are going to be in here in conjunction with everything concerning audio, VCAs, reverbs, and whatever. So basically we need to we have a default bank which is called master, and we need to assign this event to a sound bank. So basically this unassign means that this event, which has nothing in it, is not assigned to a bank. So we need to assign this by doing right click and then assign to bank and then browse and master. So now this is assigned, and we can see this because we can see this here. We now need to tell FMOD where should those banks be exported to. So we go to preferences, and we now need to tell FMOD that, surprise, surprise, the folder that we're going to be exporting the banks to is the same folder that we tell Unreal to be that they will be looking for. So we go to this content, FMOD, open, and that's it. So now we need to make the first kind of handshake of the two. So we go to we can use for this, we could use just build, but I'm used to building for all platforms because in Asylum we have mobile and desktop, so we build for both at the same time. So build for all platforms, and now we should start seeing things here. That's it. Okay, so we can now come into the events folder and see that we have the text event. Okay, so we have this, and we can play this here, and nothing's, I mean, it's playing, but it's empty. So we'll stop it. Okay, so we'll now go to start doing some stuff in FMOD. First of all, we will take a look at the map we're going to be using for this demonstration. It's a map from Infinity Blade. It's actually free from the Epic Games store, and it's this map, which I understand is very popular. So we're going to be adding sound to this, and this is currently empty. I mean, empty, like really empty. I mean, it doesn't like produce any sound, but you can see that there are some red lines and some indicators of what we're going to be doing, because I have some text, they are floating, and I have this is for me to remember what I'm going to be doing. So let's check this level out just a bit so that we know what we are going to do. Okay, so we have displays here, of course, the ambient, the ocean, fountain. I'm going to add some sound here. We can trigger some boxes, the footsteps, foley. There's this tower here. audio from a rear, it's not sounding yet. There's nothing. Nothing sounding. So the fountain. Then we have a change from the footsteps here. We're going to build some collision for these plants. Have a tree here, some seagulls around this line, and then perhaps we will get to the door there, and we have another tower there. Okay, so let's start. I've already organized this assets here. So we will need to import these assets into FMOD. So in order to do that, we just basically drag this to here, to the assets tab. Here we can listen to the assets. So let me know, please, if you can listen to this, which is very boring. So we will create a simple event. Okay. So first we will rename this test event. Okay, so to add an action to this, we basically come here and add, oh sorry, I need to create the timeline sheet first. So we create a timeline sheet and then an audio track, and now we come here and just add this, and I'm going to create a loop region, so just that this sound loops. So by adding that, the sound loops. Okay, so now let's build the bank again, just that to test if we can listen to this in real. When you build, you will see a notification here. That's because we changed the name. I'm going to hide my face so you can, so you can see better this corner. As I was saying, here when you export the sound bank to Unreal, you will see a notification here pop up which says FMOD bank reloaded. Perhaps since I didn't make any change, it doesn't show up right now. Anyway, we have now this test event. So play, and now you can listen to this sound, right? Right? So I'm assuming yes. So we will start creating sound for this now. So the basic sound is going to be on the level blueprint. What is the level blueprint? The level blueprint is any map in Unreal will have a blueprint, which is called the level blueprint here. And by convention, any sound in the level that it's music or ambient will be triggered from the level blueprint. So we will create a new event and we will call this ambient. Now we will add, we can use any of this now, but since we already used a timeline sheet, I'm going to use an action sheet right now. Okay, so action sheets are basically just orders, just do this, right? So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to add this here, and this will create a single instrument, I believe. So basically this is just place one sound. So this is like a wind loop, right? And so since I already know that this sound is looping, I'm going to trigger this box here, which will loop the sound, right? And I'm going to also randomize this by right-clicking and add modulation random, and do this, which is the start offset. This start offset basically means that the event will start playing from the beginning at any point in the audio track. So you can see that when I start playing, it starts on anywhere, right? So again, we have the unassigned, and now we will do the same for the music. But well, the music, it's a bit different because we have, of course, we have bars, beats, so we need to account for that. For the music, we will create a new timeline sheet and a new audio track. So we will import this, and now we need to talk about the music and the name of this file. So this file is named like this. So music, nighttime, woodlands, whatever. But what I care about is this. 120.44 L8M P1B. And what this means is 120 BPMs. So that's a tempo mark. We have a time signature, it's 4/4, 4 beats per measure. We have L8M, which means length 8 measures, and P1B, which means pre-entry 1 bar. This basically means that this piece is 8 measures long, which is in, and also is in 4/4, 120 beats per minute, and that it measures 8 measures, and it has 1 bar of pre-entry, 1 bar of pre-entry. So the first bar should never repeat. The way we do this is we have to tell FMOD that we are counting beats and not time. So beats, not time. We will create a new loop region, and we already, first we have to do another thing. We will first need to add a logic track to this and add a tempo marker. So this tempo marker by default, it's already in 120 beats per minute and 4/4. So this is fine. There's 2 ways to do this. The first way is to, the effect we want to accomplish is that we come to the first bar, come to the second one, then get to the 10th, whatever it is, the 10th, and then go back to the second without repeating this, but accounting for this. Right? So, the way we do this is we create a new loop region. So, the first bar should not be included, and now so this is 8 bars, right? 8, complete 8s. So, we now have to include this section. The way to do this is we double click the loop region, and this, and we kill the fade-in for the destination. So now this is going to come to this place, go back to this place, but play this one on top of the new beginning. So let's listen to that. See? And the very beginning will never sound again. It just sounds the first time. So that for the music. Now, of course, these 2 events are unassigned to the master bank. We will assign to bank, browse master, and banks. You should really have. Banks should be like a different stream, because banks. You use banks for different situations. So basically, it's an optimization feature. You use bank for you would have 1 bank for the ambient sounds, 1 bank for the music, 1 for the player sounds, and 1 for the enemy sounds. So a good example to understand banks is let's say you have music in the game, but you also have player sounds and you have enemy sounds. So you have 2 levels. The level 1 and 2 both plays the same music, and there's 1 type of enemy in the first level and another type in the second level. So basically you want the music bank to be loaded at the beginning and be persistent across the levels, but you only need one bank of enemies for the first level and one bank of enemies for the other. So you basically are avoiding to load enemies that are not going to be producing sound on each of the levels, and thus reducing memory footprint on the project. So I hope this makes sense. Okay, so now I've assigned this event to the master bank, and I'm going to build, and the events will show up. I hope you see this now, and now I have the music and ambient event. Okay, so this node, I hope you already know this, it's an event being play. Basically determines that when the game starts, whatever comes from here is going to happen. So what I want is to play event, and we have three like possible ways to trigger an event from FMOD. Play event 2D basically plays the sound in stereo, just like we hear it on headphones. Play event at location plays the event at whatever location we tell the event to be at, but we have to account for that location and tell the event where to play. Play event attach basically attaches the event to anything or any actor or any component of an actor. So these are two fairly self-explanatory. This one, you would use this, for example, if a car produces a sound and you want that car to produce a Doppler effect when it passes over. Basically, you need to attach this event, whatever event produces a sound, to the car. So basically, you need to attach this to a component, which would be the car component, right? Or the actor. For this example, we're going to be using play event 2D, because the music and the ambient sound should always play in stereo. And now we want to play the ambient here, and we want to play event 2D here. So we have this problem. I mean, what should we do first? Play the music or play the ambient? Actually, we don't have to do this. We should do another thing, which is to add a sequence. So we want to be able to deactivate the music and the ambient as we please, so we will connect this, so play the ambient first, and then this, so to play the music second. We will add the assets now, and we can do this to promote this as a variable and select it from here, or we can select the asset there. So, whoops, there. So, now we'll test this. You can hear red. Okay, so now we'll move on to another example, right? We will now go to the FMOD component. So we can basically attach an FMOD component to anything we want in the game. So we're going to create some loops, and we'll see how this works. So we have, as we said, the fountain, the bell, the wind foliage, and also the waves. And let's create events for this really quick. So new event, we're going to have the bell, the fountain, and the wind tree. Okay, so bell, you can go to grab the assets from here, or you can also do Command or Control if you're in Windows and the number 3 and browse from the audio bin. So here I'm going to grab the bell loop and I'm going to create an action sheet because I know this sound already loops, right? So this one goes here, this one goes here, and this one goes here. Is this okay? Yes. Okay, so for the wind foliage, I can just do this, and also for the fountain. But the bell, this one is kind of special because the bell, there are 2 bells here, and for the level they're like really close together. So there will be a point here when we can basically hear the bell double. So we need to have that into consideration for this event. So what we're going to do is this and this. It's basically already finished. We need to add something, but we will add it later. So we can assign it to the master bank already. For the bell, we're going to do something a little bit special. This event needs to be persistent. What is that? What does that mean? Persistent means that when it comes a point in the level where the player can no longer hear the sound, the sound will keep playing despite not being heard. And we want that because we don't want this and this sound to play exactly at the same time and playing the exact same sound. And in order to do that, you will remember that we already randomized the start offset, so we're going to do it again. So now, when we have 2 instances of this event, they will not play the same audio at the same time, despite sounding at the same, despite sounding close to the player, they will not interfere and create like noise. So the other thing we need to do is to add a specializer, but we will do that later. So assign to band master. Now we'll build this and we will see what happens with this. The first we will do is the fountain here. So fountain. So we will grab, basically this is a static mesh, and basically this, we can add a component to this. So we will grab from here, and we will look for the fountain here. And you will see I have these settings here, and we will now play this and see how it works. So you see, this is sounding, alright, but we are basically not having any interaction with this because it is sounding 2D, right? Stereo. So we need to change that. For this sound, we have to add a FMOD spatializer, and this will basically do this. So I hope you can hear this in stereo. Let me know if you can hear the change in panning, right? So we will add this to these 3 assets, to these 3 events. And we will build it again. want you to pay close attention to this static mesh as the build hits Unreal. So look now. See? So now we have a sphere around the object, and this sphere is an attenuation sphere. And there are actually two. If you see here, we have one inner sphere. So basically, this is controlled by the distance, minimum and maximum distance. But I've actually found that the best way to control this is through the settings in Unreal. So we basically click on the FMOD component for the static mesh, and we go to the attenuation details and override attenuation. And you will see it changes immediately because it introduces some default values. So a good value for this is 4 and 12 or 15, but let me explain what this is. So basically the minimum distance is the inner sphere. This works pretty similar to the attenuation in Unreal, but it's different. So the minimum distance is the inner sphere, and it's where the sound will be will be heard fully. I mean, not attenuated. And the maximum distance is this space where between the small sphere and the big sphere, where the sound will gradually fade until it disappears outside of this area. So if you see, I can modify the size of these spheres and put any size I want. But the thing is, one would be tempted to do this, which is to just limit the size to this space here. But you need to remember that the listener in Unreal is the camera. So we need to account for the camera that's going to be behind the player. So if the camera goes up this place, we will basically lose the sound, while we know that the player character should be listening to it. So we need to put a bigger number. So 15 is a good number. This will give place for the camera to be here. So we will hit play, and we can hear now. It's a stereo. So we can basically attach this sound to anything we want, and so we are going to attach it to the other fountain here, override attenuation, and give the same values. And there's another fountain here, I think, here. I know they're empty, right, but I just don't care. So 3 and 12. Okay, so we will now attack this tree, and this tree is fairly. Oh, this shouldn't be here. Okay, this tree is fairly easy, but the thing is, we need to add the specializer. Oh, we already added. Okay, so basically, this sound is sound of the tree, the wind hitting the leaves. Sorry. So wind tree, and we have the attenuation, and we need to fix this attenuation, and we will give 2 perhaps, and 12. Okay, so here we have an issue because this one, you see, it's coming from the root, and this is not useful. So we need to modify the placement of this wind tree. So we will go to the transform, and on location, add something like 30, no, 500, maybe 400, that's it. So now the sound is coming from this part of the tree, which is the part that would be producing the sound. So that one's done. and now we should do this, the bell and the other bell. So this bell is this, right? So I already know that this sound needs to be elevated like 3,000 units. See? Like this. But if I do that with the default attenuation or even the Unreal attenuation, the sound is pretty much it's basically it cannot be heard in any situation. So we'll put 10 and 30, yes. So when the player comes here, it would listen to it faintly. And for this other one here, bell again, and we see it's in the root of the static mesh, and we will put 3,000 because it's the same asset, and we will override the attenuation, put 10, and perhaps for this one we have to use a bigger attenuation because it's kind of taller. So that's it for the bell, the tree, and the fountains. What I will do now is in order to test this, I will disconnect the music and the ambient. And I'm going to try the sounds out. Okay, so that one's okay. There's the bell. I should hear a fountain now. And the tree. And now we should hear the other bell any second. Oh, that one. Okay. I don't know what this one is not playing or not being heard. So I'll add a bigger attenuation. Perhaps it's not looping. Oh no, there it is. Now that sound is not looping. You see, this sound should be looping. So basically the sound is coming to an end before I can reach the source. And that's why it's not playing. Or it seems like not playing. Okay, so we will leave that for now. And we will now move on to other types of sound. So we covered this FMOD component thing, and we will now go to the actor blueprint side of things. So for the actor blueprint, we're going to first work on this one. So until now, we have worked with only simple instruments. So just play one sound. And for this next one, we're going to be playing a random sound from a pool of sounds. For this, we'll create a new event which will be called Wind Distortion. We will create a timeline sheet, an audio track, and we will now grab this and throw it here, and this will create a multi-instrument. And what this does is basically just selects one of these sounds to play randomly. Since we have this, we also want to randomize the pitch, so right click on pitch here and add modulation, random, and give it a good range. These are semitones, by the way. And we will now create a new loop region for this, and we will add a little bit of silence at the end. So we get like a pause between instances. So we need to assign this to the master bank, and we will create a new event which will be called Seagulls, and a new event which will be called foliage. So seagulls, basically, it's going to be the kind of the same thing, same idea. We will create a action sheet, and for this we're going to create sorry, not an action sheet, sorry, I missed, remove sheet, timeline sheet, and we're going to create an audio track, and we're going to use this, a scatter instrument. What this will do, it just scatters sound, panning and randomizing pitch. So we will add this, and now we basically just will listen to this. And we need to tweak this just a little bit. So we will reduce polyphony. And randomize the pitch. And we will change the minimum and maximum spawn interval. Oh, sorry. Just so sounds don't get like cut off. We need to loop this. Perhaps too much. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to add a specializer to this effect, specializer, and we will also assign this to the master bank. So the foliage, we need to do basically, we want an effect for the to just hit the blend, and then the blend goes back to its place. So we want to create a timeline sheet, audio track, and a second audio track. And now for the foliage, we will use this sounds. This will create a multi-instrument, and we will randomize, the pitch here, and copy this and paste this here, and just do this. We will randomize also the volume for this. Okay, so we will now assign this to the master bank. Oh, sorry, we need to add a specializer to this. And now we will assign this to the master bank. Okay, so we will bid this. Okay, so how do we trigger this sounds? They will show up here in any moment. Okay, how do we trigger this sounds? For the wind distortion, what we want is to create just here, here, and here a blueprint that will trigger a sound when the player comes in contact with the blueprint. So basically, we just are going to create in the content folder a new folder, which I'm going to call audio blueprints, and I'm going to create a new blueprint class, actor, and I'm going to call this wind distortion, like this. I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to add a component to this. The component, it's going to be a box collision, and I'm going to go to the event graph, basically delete this, and now select the box collision I just created, and we want to establish a condition. The condition is going to be when the player hits this, play this sound, and when the player is out, stop this sound. So for this we want to on component begin overlap, and we're going to drag from this execution pin and have a branch to check for this condition. So the condition is that when the player hits this, so we're going to drag from other actor and we're going to check if the other actor is in collision with this component. So we will drag from the other pin of this, and this get player character, and this will be the condition for the sound to trigger. So basically, when the player character is in the same place as the box, this will turn to true. So what we want to happen in that situation is to play sound at location. Oh, sorry, this is from Unreal. Play event at location. Okay, so we need to explain a few things here. So play event at location basically needs the location, but if you see this play sound at location, you will see that play sound at location requires the location in a rather yellowish color, while this in a more orange color. And that is because this actually is not location, this is transform, which also considers rotation and size. So basically it's asking for this whole package of things. So I don't know why FMOD asks for the transform and not the location. That is what Unreal asks for. But anyway, this is because, I mean, it will not work if we just want to give this the location as a vector. We need to give this as an array of transform. So I hope this is clear. Basically, what we need to do is, okay, this sound needs to be played here, where this box is. So we can basically do a couple of things. We can get the owner of this, or we can get a reference, get reference to self, and then ask for the transform, get actor transform, and then connect this to the location. So we now need to give the asset that we want to play. We can select the asset from here, or we can drag from the reference pin and promote this to a variable. Right? No. Well. So win distortion. There. So let's play this and see how it works. We need to place this in the world first. So, sorry. There. Okay, so I'm going to scale this. And now I'm going to put it here. Observe. So when the player comes into collision with this, the sound should play, right? So let's try it. Okay, it works. But the thing is that we can go out and it basically does not stop playing. You see, it keeps playing although I am out. So we need to address for the end collision. So basically we just we can basically copy this, oh no, not this, this here, and for the box and on component and overlap. Oh, sorry. On component and overlap. What? Well, let me compile this first. Okay, so the box on component and overlap. Why? Oh, because I'm selecting the event. Okay, sorry. On component and overlap. And why I cannot select the box? Perhaps it's because I'm selecting this here. Okay. Box on component. Yeah, so box actor, and I don't know why I am not seeing the on component and overlap here. Component, let's see, activate on component and overlap. Weird. Okay, so we will have a branch from this, and we need to basically check for the other actor. Oops, sorry. Equal. Okay. And now other actor here. This is the condition. Okay. So how do we stop this event? So we go to stop event instance, and we need to tell Unreal which event we want to stop. Basically, we just do this, and this will stop the event. And you will hear it right now, and there will be a problem. Let's check. So that's the event. You will see it cuts like immediately, and that's because we didn't add like a master effect to it. So we will add this so that when it plays, it just lowers the volume gradually, you see? And we can change the time for this. So we will build for this. And now, for this to work, we need to enable the release. You see, so that works. So we will now copy this, because since it's a blueprint, we can copy this to wherever we want with the Option key, and we will copy it again, and this time we'll rotate it 90 degrees, and we'll put it like, we'll put it right there, basically. Okay, so let's try this. player comes here, listen to this sound. Here's the bell. Okay, so this is working nice. The other one, which is nice, is this, like the little plants. So we can basically create a blueprint and add it to a component to another static mesh. So basically this is just the same logic as this. So we will create a new blueprint class, actor, we will call it VP foliage. We will edit this and we will now create a sphere collision like this. We'll go to the event graph, delete everything, and we'll now paste this. And basically we need to replace the reference to not box but sphere. Add event for sphere collision and on component begin overlap, and the other actor is this one. And now the event we want to play is the foliage event. And this one we don't need to stop the event, because the event, if you remember, this one is really short, and basically we don't need to stop this. So let's compile this, and we will now add this to not every, but some static meshes that are these plants here. So when the player hits this, it will sound like they are hitting some plants, some vegetation. This one, and this other one, and that's it. Okay, so let's try it. So it's working, but you can see that the sphere, the collision sphere, it's actually pretty small. So you can select any of the child actors for the plant, for this, and make the sphere a little bigger, or make the sphere bigger just in the blueprint, since every instance of it is small. So we will go to the viewport in the blueprint, select the sphere, and just resize it here, just to make the collision more like travel. So let's see if that works. Okay, this is better. Okay, this is much better, and you see all of them changes. Okay, so now we will guide our attention to this place, the bridge. So for the bridge, we basically will do the same as for the wind distortion. So we will click on this, duplicate, and we will call this seagulls. And we will edit this, and we will add the event seagulls. Okay, compile and save, and we will add this here. Oh, sorry, I lost it. Okay, so let me just place one right and the other ones. Okay. So basically what we want here is that the player will go through this bridge and listen to some casual seagulls. So again, we will just duplicate this like this, and we will now select the other one and duplicate them together here like this. So we will play again and see how it works. Okay, so it's kind of chopping right now, but we will add an AHDSR later, and with the music and the ambient, it just won't notice. Okay, so we now need to address the hard part, which is the footsteps. The footsteps are on this folder, and you will see I have Foley and footsteps, and I have two distinct surfaces or materials for this. So for this one, we're going to be using the animation blueprint. So the animation blueprint is actually in the mannequin folder, animations, and we have this anim VP. So basically we have all of this, which are animations, and we are using this one, the third person run, which is the one we use the most in the game. And basically we come here and we have a timeline, and we can add notifies to this. And I've already placed notifies, and these notifies are not the type of play sound. These are skeleton notifies. So a new notify, and then you will see it here and you can add it. So I'll show you how to create a new one. Track, so notify track, and I will create now a new one here, which is called Foley. And now I can come here and add notify, and from the skeleton notifies I can select Foley, and this one is the same as this. So we will use the third animation blueprint, which gathers all of this animation to trigger some footsteps sound. So I already have this working, and I'm going to show you how to do it again. So for this, we basically need something that is kind of a prerequisite to this, and that is a physical material that already is associated with static meshes. So anything here is a static mesh, and all of this stuff is associated with a physical material. So if I come here and search for material, you will see that somewhere there's physical material land and physical material stone. So if I go to edit and project settings and go to physics here, I have land and stone. And if I go to the physical material land, you see that I already associated this with the land surface type. And if you go to physical material stone, the same is for stone. So the other left thing to do would be to associate every static mesh here with either stone or land, which I already done before the stream. So how do we go about the surface detection? Okay, so we basically need to build a raycast. So we will select the animation notify here, and we will create an event for this anim notify footstep. Right, so we're going to draw from the execution pin, and we're going to line trace by channel. Okay, so we basically are evaluating hits with this. We want to start the trace, the raycasting from, it's called raycasting in Unity. I call this raycast, but actually line trace by channel. Get owner, no, get owning actor, okay. And from the return value, we will now get actor location, there. And we want the line to go from the center of the player character to the floor. So it will start on the center here, and then we need to do vector minus vector to make the line go to the floor, right? So we will put this here, and we now need to subtract from the C axis the 150 units, and we will draw a debug line for the duration, right? So save, and we will now play the game, and we will see that we have the line, and this is what's drawing the line, right? So we now for the surface detection. On the out hit, we want to get the surface. So we will get surface type, and we will receive this value. And from the execution pin, we will do switch on E physical surface, and we can do this. And this will only show if you have the correct, not correct, but if you have added this to here, right? And if you add a new one, you need to add it again. So just keep that in mind. Oh, sorry, I think okay. Third person round, okay. Well, I close the blueprint. Okay, so what we want now is to go to FMOD, because we need to create some form of event that will receive this information. So basically, I have created here a variable called surface type, which is a float. And if you don't know how to do this, it's okay. You just basically create a variable, and it's called whatever you want, material, for example. And now you can compile and change the type, float. And then we will set this, and we will set it again. And one surface will set it to 1, and the other will set it to 0. Right, so we already know that there's a surface that is a default, which is rock, and we want to set that as 0. And stone also is 0, and land will be 1. Why am I doing this exactly? If you print a string with this value, you will see that I have stone here, and here I have a default. You see it in the right, in the left corner. I have default, and now I have stone again, and now I have land. So the thing is, no matter what I did, I couldn't change the surface type for these assets. I don't know why, I just couldn't do it. So what I ended up doing is just this one, whatever this surface is, it's going to be the default. So it's rock, so that's why stone is default. Stone is, the material will be stone when it be stone or when it will be default, and land will be 1. So that's why. So I'm going to delete that, and now basically what we want this to do is to set global parameter by name. That's how you configure a parameter in FMOD. A parameter basically is anything that will configure a event in FMOD. So basically we need to set this with a value of this variable. So we will gather material, and then we will now get material and connect this to the value. So we will call the value surface, and that's how we configure a parameter in FMOD. So we now need to play an event, and this event we will play it at location. So we have to yet to create the event for this to play, right? So we will go to FMOD and we will create an event called footstep. So we will now add a parameter sheet, which we don't have yet. So we will create a new parameter. We will call it surface. Now this parameter needs to be named exactly the same as we will configure it here. So we will create an audio track. Oh, sorry, did I create a timeline sheet? Yes. Okay, so we will edit this parameter, and this has to be user label for this case, and we will delete this value. It will get to 0 and 1. 0, remember, will be stone, and 1 will be land. And this has to be global. Okay, so we will scale this, and we now have stone and land, right? We will grab this for land and grab this for rock. So basically this is going to do this. We will, as always, randomize the pitch. And we will build this. Oh, sorry, we need to assign it to a bank. Okay, so now we will be able to select the event here. Okay, so footstep, and if I did it correctly, now we should hear footsteps playing. Okay, okay, this is because I didn't give the location. So get owner on actor, get transform, and location. And now this is not going to matter because the FMOD event does not have a specializer. So play. So there we have the step, and it should change on the grass here. And it does. And now it goes back to rock. Right. And for the foley, basically it's the same. I'm going to add an action sheet and a multi-instrument, and for the foley this, and just randomize this, and build all platforms. So now I'm going to grab the Foley, and for this I'm going to, oops, sorry. Just play event at location and put Foley. Oh, didn't build. Okay, send assign. There, and transform, and I need to do this here. Okay, so now we should hear the Foley as well. Okay, so we will now make a like a full playthrough of this with the music and the ambient sound. Sorry. Okay, so that's how we add sounds to this level. So now we will very briefly just close this, save it, and save selected, and we will now open the Asylum project. So for this project, I'm going to show you just how the ambient system works and the music system. So I'm going to look for the project for Asylum. Oh, I need to perhaps open it in FMOD for Windows. So this is the project for the FMOD project for Asylum, and we will now open the Unreal project. So basically, I just wanted to show you how we handle sound in Asylum for the entire game. So basically, we have two main blueprints, which are being spawned at the beginning of the game. This one is being spawned to trigger the music and the music and the ambient sounds here, and this other one, it's controlling every part of the ambient sound and the footsteps and everything. Basically, we have in FMOD in Asylum, sorry, a base layer with every floor of the game, of the Asylum, and the exterior. And we will just listen to how it sounds. So this is the first floor, and we are, this is daylight, during the day. Second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. We also have a basement and the stairways. If we go to first floor again, and we now go to the exterior, you see how it changes, and it changes also from day to night. You see there's more crows during the night, or ravens. And you can also, if we trigger the main event, have this, and if we go to, we can also trigger the song from here. And the storm can also be triggered from the inside, from the interior. So that's how it sounds. The music, it's also triggered from, we have two versions of the music, so we can basically run for one. Or the other, right? We can change this as well. So basically, in this configuration, the music and the sound design for the ambience, it's pretty dynamical. So pretty dynamic. So I'll show you how this is triggered in Unreal. Basically, we have a main blueprint, this one, which sets the day-night cycle. This is the day-night cycle for the game. This is the storm, whether it's raining or not. This is a collection of levels, and here, if it's outside or inside, these are the levels that are outside, and by default it's inside. This is the floor management. This is if the floor is wet, for example, a bathroom would have maybe the floor wet, or an outside if it's raining. This is the river control. So we have places with more river and places with less river. Again, if it's a bathroom, some levels that have pretty big open spaces have a lot of river. And we have also custom ambiances. So we have the main ambience, which is this event here, but we also have custom ambiances, which I will not show right now. So if we decide that some level needs to sound in a pretty unique way, we basically just can control it from here. And we have a set music variable function. So basically we are defining variables for the music that we'll be playing and what version of the music that we'll be playing. And the event graph basically gathers everything and plays it. And all of this is then triggered by the audio manager, which is played at the beginning of the game instance. So again, a pretty cool system. This is really nice, and it's working pretty good actually. So let me show you here in the foyer. So see here we are on the first floor, right? So we basically hear just an ambient sound. There's no music playing right now. And if we go to outside, you see how it changes. changes like this. And if I go to another level, you'll see now that this one's pretty cool. So every door is randomized. See, notice a change here. So basically that's the audio, ambient, and music system for Asylum. So I hope you enjoyed this. It really was kind of long. So that's it basically. I just wanted to show you how this works and how you can basically integrate FMOD in Wise. So basically that's it, and thank you for joining. Bye.